So it's time for the March wrap up, and I don't have that much, so let's just get started. The first book I read was... no, it wasn't. The first book I did read was The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake by Aimee Bender. I did read this in German, but it is an English book originally, and I still don't really know what to think about it. I honestly just chose the book because I think the title is hilarious. It just sounds so obscure, and that's exactly how I would describe the book. Like, it's so weird and obscure, and yeah. So the protagonist is this girl, and it starts when she's, I think, 9 or 8, and at that age she discovers that if she eats something, she can not only taste where it comes from, like which country it comes from, which state it comes from, who picked up like the olives or something, so she can really taste where exactly it came from, but she can also taste the feelings of the cook or the people who made the food, which sounds cool, but it actually isn't. She also tastes some things when her mother cooks, and that isn't that good. So she has this huge problem with it, and we kind of have like 3 parts in this book. So the first part is her talking about that, which is already really weird but wonderfully described. Like, we really get a great description of the emotions she tastes. And then we have the second part about her older brother, where she discovers what his weird thing is, because it's kind of a family thing. So he also has some weird talent. And in the second part she discovers what that is, but I won't tell you because that will be a spoiler. But that freaked me out. Like, it really freaked me out. I got nightmares. So that's really scary. But as well, really great description. And then in the third part, we do not have any solution. I also love thinking about how the author came up with the idea. That's something I really like to do, and with this I just can't imagine it's been like a weird dream or something and they just woke up and said, okay, I gotta write a story about that. But as I said, in the third part there isn't really a solution. The second book I read was for the hashtag A Yearathon. The theme was suspense, and I read Ensnared by A.G.Howard, which is the third part in the Splintered trilogy. That's it. And I will link the whole Yearathon wrap-up video here, because I now know how to do it, and also in the down bar below. But basically these stories are just a kind of steampunky gothic like retelling of Alice in Wonderland in the modern time, and I really love these. And yeah, as I said, the whole wrap-up will be linked here. And then the last book in March that I actually just finished about a few seconds ago is The Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K.Rowling. I guess I don't have to tell you what Harry Potter is. Yeah, Harry Potter's a wizard, if I do have to tell you. But a lot of people say that this is their favorite part, and I can understand why. I wouldn't say it is. I think my favorite part so far is the second one, and I also really like the final one. From what I've seen in the movies. Obviously I do not know what the final one is like as a book, but enough of that. As I said, I do understand why some people say this is their favorite. I really did love the characters. I think Lupin might be my favorite character in the books so far. So yeah, I really did love the story. What I love most about it though is reading the book whilst knowing what will happen, especially when Sirius Black comes into the story. Because he's just like, yeah, I don't know, it could be so much easier if he would have just told them what he wanted to do. And you know, when you're reading all this drama he's making, and you know what he really wants, it's really funny. yeah, I enjoyed it and I'm looking forward to reading the next part. But that actually was all for the books I read. I did watch some movies, so I'm gonna tell you about these now. The first one actually was a German one. It's called Der geilste Tag. I don't think there's an English version of it or like any other language, but it was a nice film. It was about these two guys who have different illnesses that basically mean they're gonna die pretty soon. And one of them is like really the cool guy and really independent and adventurous, and the other one just lies in bed all day. And then the one just kind of convinces the other one to take all the money they have and just go on a last adventure and to make a video blog about it. And they promise each other to kill each other in the end, so that they don't have to suffer. And I think they go to Africa, but basically it's so full of beautiful shots, and of course there's a lot of like life lessons and everything, but that's not what I liked most about it. I really did like the shots and just like the view, and the actors also were really great. The next one is actually a Portuguese one. It's called Summer with Mama, and I think it's in São Paulo. And there we have the society where we have really rich people and really poor people, and we kind of just follow the life of one of those poor people who's a maiden in the household of the rich people. And then she doesn't allow herself anything good, and she never complains, and she just does everything that those people tell her. And then her daughter comes to visit, and she realizes how unfair this is and tries to change things up. Now, I did like the idea of this, and the actors were great, I have to say, but like, it just made me really, really angry. And I guess that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to show you how unfair this all is. But what made me angry the most was that this woman didn't learn from what her daughter taught her. So she always told the daughter that she was wrong, and she didn't realize it, or she did realize how unfair it was, but she said it's okay this way. Then I saw the movie Mr. Nobody, which I actually saw a few years ago, and it just came up on TV the other night, so I did watch it again. But it's one of those movies that is so full and so rich that you just forget what happened. And all I remembered and all I'm gonna say about it is that this movie starts with the idea that we have this little thing about our lips because before we are born the angels put their fingers on our lips, so we forget everything. And then we have Mr. Nobody, Nemo Nobody, and the angels forgot to do that, so he knows everything. Which means that he can see every dimension, he can see the future, he can see every possibility his decisions can lead to. And yeah, the movie just kind of plays with it really, because you have all these lives and all these futures of this guy, and also all the past lives that could have kind of happened and maybe happened. And it's just really, it's really rich. It's also really confusing. As you have to take some time to get into it. My mother didn't like it at all, and she stopped watching after I think about 10 minutes. But you really have to get into it. You have to get used to the idea and also get used to this quick change between his different lives. But if you take that time and once you get into it, it's just really, really fascinating. At least I think it is. Yeah. And then the last movie I watched was A Long Way Down. which is a funny suicidal movie, I guess. So we have these 4 people who want to kill themselves at New Year's Eve. But because that's like a popular time to kill yourself, they all meet each other at the roof of this building, at the top of this building where they want to jump down from. And they more or less convince each other to stay alive at least until Valentine's Day. And then they spend their time together. And yeah, I know it's really sad and it's a really sad topic. And of course the film shows a lot of that. But it mostly just shows that there are loads of reasons why people want to end their lives. But even more so the reasons or the possibilities to change that. And the possibilities to change your life instead of end it. And yeah, it really got me, and it's amazing. It's a really amazing movie. But that was it for everything I've watched and read in the month of March. Please let me know if you hear that car. Please let me know what you read or watched this month and if you liked it. I also think that with this thing I said in the last Ricardo Rambles, with like showing you videos that I like at the end, I'm gonna just do my end screen where I say goodbye and then just put a little annotation link thingy, so I won't say what it is, I won't link it anywhere else, I'll just put the annotation right here to any video. This week it will be Lizzy the Reader's Booktube Booktag, but from now on I'm just gonna put the annotation and you can click it if you want to and let yourself be surprised, but you can also not. But now that's enough of rambling. Okay, I shall see you next week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope that you always find a reason to smile. And I hope you have a great week. Goodbye!